Picture this: the sun blazing down on the endless California desert, the air shimmering with heat, and the unmistakable pulse of bass vibrating through the ground. You're at Coachella, the legendary music festival where the days are long, the nights are electric, and the energy is absolutely contagious. All around you, thousands of people are moving to the beat, losing themselves in the music and soaking up the festival magic. Flower crowns everywhere you look, glitter dusting the air, and outfits that are as bold as the music itself. Coachella isn't just a festival, it's a living, breathing Instagram feed, a place where every moment is curated for the perfect shot. You're here for the vibes, the memories, the chance to see your favorite artists live, and of course, to capture it all for your followers. It's a place where reality feels suspended, and for a few days, anything seems possible. But this year, something totally unexpected happened. Just when you thought you'd seen it all, giant art installations, surprise musical guests, and wild costumes, there's a plot twist no one saw coming. Bernie Sanders, yes, the senator himself, made an appearance, not in a hologram, not as a meme, but in the flesh, stepping onto the stage with a microphone in hand. Imagine the crowd's reaction, a mix of confusion, excitement, and disbelief. Bernie at Coachella? It sounds like the setup to a joke, but it was real. And no, he didn't crowd surf or try to dance, though the mental image of him tripping over a giant inflatable flamingo is pretty hilarious. Politics at Coachella? It's about as unexpected as finding a cactus in a mosh pit. But that's exactly what made it so epic. Coachella is famous for its music, its fashion, and its good vibes only mantra. It's the ultimate escape from the everyday grind, a place to forget about deadlines, responsibilities, and yes, even politics. Most people come here to dance, not to debate tax policy or healthcare reform. But Bernie saw something different. He saw a golden opportunity, a chance to reach out to young people, the very crowd that often feels ignored or talked down to by politicians. Instead of sticking to the usual campaign trail, he brought his message straight to the heart of youth culture. He talked about the issues that matter most to this generation: climate change, student debt, affordable healthcare, and the future of the planet. He didn't just throw around political jargon, he spoke in a way that resonated, that felt real and urgent. Because let's be honest, those big issues, they don't disappear just because you're dancing under the stars or singing along to your favorite band. The world keeps turning, and the challenges facing young people are still out there waiting to be tackled. Bernie's surprise appearance was a reminder that even in the middle of the party, it's okay to care, to get involved, and to use your voice. After all, music and change have always gone hand in hand. So Bernie takes the stage. The sun is setting, the music is fading, and suddenly the energy shifts. Out walks Bernie Sanders, a figure you might not expect to see at a music festival, but here he is, ready to shake things up. The crowd, a sea of young faces, turns their attention to the stage, some with curiosity, others with skepticism. There's a buzz in the air. Something big is about to happen. The crowd? A mix of wait, what? And is this really happening? Some people look around, wondering if this is part of the show, while others pull out their phones to capture the moment. There's laughter, a few raised eyebrows, and a lot of whispered conversations. But beneath the initial confusion, there's a sense of anticipation. Maybe this is exactly the kind of surprise the festival needed. And then, as Bernie starts to speak, you can see the shift. People start to smile, nod, and lean in. What started as confusion quickly turns into genuine interest. The crowd realizes this is actually kind of cool. It's not every day you get a front row seat to history in the making, especially at a place known more for music than politics. But when Bernie speaks, people listen. His message is clear: young people need to get involved. No more sitting on the sidelines. This isn't a spectator sport. He tells them that their voices matter, that their choices today will shape the world of tomorrow. He's not just talking at them, he's talking to them, urging them to take action, to be the change they want to see. This is about your future, your planet, your right to affordable health care. The future of our planet is at stake, Bernie boomed. He doesn't hold back. He talks about the climate crisis, the urgent need for environmental action, and the importance of standing up for what's right. He reminds them that the fight for justice, equality, and a livable planet is in their hands. We need to act now, and we need everyone, especially young people, to join this fight. He's fired up and his energy is contagious. You can feel the momentum building as he speaks. People are clapping, cheering, and some are even chanting his name. It's more than just a speech, it's a call to action, a rallying cry for a generation that's ready to make a difference. He talks about climate change, social justice, and making sure the economy works for everyone, not just the super rich. He shares stories of young activists, of communities coming together to demand change, and of the power that comes from standing united. Bernie's words resonate. He's not just listing problems, he's offering hope, solutions, and a vision for a better future. The crowd cheers. Maybe they didn't come to Coachella for a political rally, but Bernie's got their attention. The applause grows louder, and you can see people inspired, motivated, and ready to take action. For a moment, the festival isn't just about music, it's about making history, about being part of something bigger than themselves. He's speaking their language, connecting with them on their level. It's a side of Bernie we don't always see, and it's pretty darn effective. He jokes, he listens, he shares stories that hit home. By the end of his speech, he's not just a politician on a stage, he's a voice for their hopes, their fears, and their dreams. And as the crowd disperses, you can tell something's changed. People are talking, thinking, and maybe, just maybe, ready to rock the vote. Now, it wouldn't be a Bernie rally without mentioning a certain someone. You guessed it, Donald Trump. The crowd erupts in a chorus of boos. Bernie doesn't hold back. He calls out Trump's policies, his rhetoric, his whole deal. The crowd eats it up. It's clear that Trump is not exactly a fan favorite at this festival. We cannot afford to go back to the policies of Donald Trump, Bernie declared, his voice echoing across the festival grounds. We need to move forward, not backward. The atmosphere is electric. It's no longer just a music festival. It's a political debate, a platform for dissent. Some people are loving it, others look a little confused, but one thing's for sure, Coachella just got a whole lot more interesting. Word spreads like wildfire. Bernie Sanders at Coachella? The internet explodes, memes are born, Twitter goes into overdrive, hashtag BernieChella is trending worldwide. Some people are praising Bernie for reaching out to young voters. Others are criticizing Coachella for becoming, too political, but everyone's talking about it. Rumors start flying that Trump himself might show up. Can you imagine? The internet almost breaks. Security is on high alert. People are scanning the crowd, half expecting to see Trump emerge from a VIP tent, spray tan, glowing. He never shows, of course, but the rumors, the memes, the sheer absurdity of it all, it adds another layer to the already surreal experience that is Coachella. But here's the thing, Bernie's appearance at Coachella wasn't just about him, it was about a generation finding its voice. Young people today are facing some serious challenges. Climate change, economic inequality, social injustice, it's a lot to handle. And they're not afraid to speak out. They're marching, they're protesting, they're voting in record numbers, they're using their voices and their platforms to demand change. Coachella, for all its glitz and glamour, became a symbol of that. It showed that politics isn't just for stuffy old men in suits, it's for everyone. It's about the future, and young people are leading the charge. Generation Z, they're not just about TikTok dances and avocado toast. They're rewriting the rules of what it means to be young today. They're the most diverse generation in history, bringing together cultures and perspectives like never before. They're tech-savvy, they're globally connected, and they're not afraid to challenge the status quo or speak up for what matters. They're growing up in a world that's on fire, literally and figuratively, facing challenges previous generations never imagined. They're inheriting a planet in crisis, an economy rigged against them, and a political system that often feels out of touch and unresponsive. But they're not giving up, not even for a second. They're fighting for their future, and they're not going to be silenced or pushed aside. Bernie at Coachella? That was just a taste of what's to come, a preview of their growing influence. So, what did we learn from Bernie's Coachella adventure? It wasn't just a political speech dropped into the middle of a music festival. It was a moment that made everyone stop and think. Bernie's presence on that stage, surrounded by the energy of Coachella, was a reminder that politics isn't something that happens far away in government buildings. It can be right here, in the heart of youth culture, woven into the music and the moments we share. That music and politics aren't mutually exclusive. In fact, when they come together, they can create something truly electric. The festival grounds, usually filled with the sounds of guitars and synths, became a space for ideas and activism. The banners waving in the crowd weren't just for favorite bands. They carried messages about climate change, equality, and the future. It was a reminder that the songs we love can also be anthems for change, that young people care about more than just the latest Instagram filter. They're tuned in, passionate, and ready to engage with the world around them. You could see it in their faces as they listened. This wasn't just background noise, it was a call to action, and the crowd responded with cheers, thoughtful silence, and even a few tears. The festival became a place where real conversations could happen, where the next generation's voice was loud and clear, and that sometimes the most unexpected venues can spark the most important conversations. Who would have thought that a music festival in the desert could become a forum for debate and discussion? But that's exactly what happened. Between sets, people talked about what they'd heard, shared their own stories, and debated what comes next. The music was still there, but so was a sense of purpose. After Bernie's speech, singer-songwriter Claro took the stage. The transition from politics to music wasn't jarring, it felt natural, like two parts of the same conversation. Clairo's set was more than just a performance, it was a continuation of the dialogue Bernie started, but now with melody and emotion. Clairo, who's known for her own activism, delivered a powerful performance that blended music and message. Her lyrics touched on issues of identity, acceptance, and hope. The crowd sang along, not just as fans, but as people who understood the deeper meaning behind the words. It was a reminder that music can heal, inspire, and unite us, even when the world feels divided. It was a fitting end to a day that challenged expectations and proved that even in the middle of the desert, surrounded by flashing lights and thumping music, you can't escape the issues that matter. The night sky was filled with energy, but also with a sense of hope. People left the festival grounds not just with memories of great music, but with new ideas and a renewed sense of purpose. Coachella got political, and you know what? It kind of worked. The experiment of mixing activism with art didn't just make headlines, it made an impact. People talked about it long after the music faded, sharing clips and stories online, keeping the conversation alive. Maybe this is the future of festivals, a blend of music, art, and activism, a space where we can dance, connect, and demand a better world. Imagine a place where every beat carries a message, every lyric sparks a thought, and every gathering becomes a chance to make a difference. That's the power of a duet between music and politics, and maybe, just maybe, it's exactly what we need right now.